Okay, so for this function, show that it is one horizontal asymptote and one vertical asymptote. We find out the asymptote. So for vertical asymptote, we find for where your function is undefined. Your function undefined at x minus 3 equals to 0, x equals to 3. Penyebut bila kosong, so it will be undefined. So our vertical asymptote we're doing limit for x approaches 3 from the left hand side and limit x approaches 3 from the right hand side. So when we substitute our 3 inside, it will become 12 over 0. So when a number over 0, it will be infinity. So same also here, 12 over 0, infinity. So positively or negatively, you have to do your test value. So 3 from the left hand side, you're going to test 2.99. So this one is negatively. So your infinity here will be negative infinity, right? So this one 3 from the right hand side, so we are going to test 3.01. So this one is positively 0 point something. So positive over positive, positive infinity. So from here, we managed to prove that x equals to 3 is one of these vertical asymptote. Then we proceed for horizontal asymptote. We're going to calculate limit where x approaches positive infinity for this function. So when we put in, we will notice that this is IDF. So you're going to divide the highest x here, divide by x. So once again, we substitute our infinity, it will be 4 over 1 minus 0, so it will be equal to 4. Meanwhile, for negative infinity, we can take the simplest form that we already simplified. Because we look at the mark, just 3 marks. Sikit saja kan? So kita ambil the simplest form for our function where you already simplify at limit at positive infinity here. So kita ambil yang bahagian yang dah simplify. So this one also equals to 4. So y equals to 4 is one of the horizontal asymptote. So after we prove this, hence state the equation of asymptote. So we already state up. So this is our equation of the asymptote. Dah menyatakan. Selepas tu kita akan lukis graf. So berdasarkan asymptote kita lakar dia dulu. X equals to 3, vertical asymptote. Label your asymptote x equals to 3. So y equals to 4, horizontal asymptote. Label y equals to 4. Label your x-axis, label your y-axis, and origin. And then based on the result, so you can see your graph here. When x approaches 3 from the left hand side, going negative infinity. So means it will be, when it approaches 3 from the left hand side means this side, bahagian sini, it will going, approaches negative infinity, means you're going down. When your x approaches 3 from the right hand side, it will approach positive infinity. So bila graf datang daripada bahagian 3, bahagian kanan 3, positive infinity means the graph is going up. Okay, then we look at when the limit for x approaches negative infinity, maksudnya nak pergi bahagian belah kiri, graf ni akan menghampiri 4. Menghampiri 4. Di atas ke di bawah? Adakah sini ke sini? Disebabkan sebelah curve tu dah ada di sini, bermaksud adalah dia logik di bawah. Sebab kalau ini takkan sebelah ada, sebelah tak ada. Ada graf ada sebelah, tak ada sebelah kan? So kita tahu lagi sebelah asymptote dia, echo dia di situ. So echo dia di sini. So do your curve. So you can notice that it intersects x-axis and y-axis, right? So we better get the figure first. Where's the intersection? So calculate the intersection. So it will depends on your graph. If your graph intersect, kita cari. If your graph didn't intersect, kita tak payah cari. So for y intersect, you will let x equals to 0. So what's your function? 0 over 4x, right? 0 over 0 minus 3. So 0 over 3. 0 over negative 3. 0. So intersection at 0. So this graph is overshoot. Dah terlebih nilai dah. So tak betul. So your graph supposedly it will intersect at origin here. Bila x kosong, y kosong, intersection 0, 0. So kita panjang sikit asymptote dan kita cakap. Okay. Make it a smooth curve with your asymptote. Asymptote means your graph will be going near to it. Alright? Near to it, your graph will be going near to it. This part, your graph will be going near to your asymptote. So for x approaches positive infinity, your graph will be approaches 4. So 4 will be up here lah. Because one side of your graph is already stated at here. So kita punya lengkut di sini. So kita dah tahu bahagian tu, kita dah tahu. So kita boleh lukis dengan baik dah. So lastly, make sure your graphing is labeled x-axis, y-axis, vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote together with the function. What's the function here? For x, x minus 3. Then only we consider this is a complete graph for 3 marks. So your labeling, kalau tak buat labeling, kita akan tolak kamu 1 marker.